Hello and welcome to Extra Drama for book number 26, Hostage! ! I am your host, Marissa Flaxbart, and with me again today are the hosts of the terrific Babysitters Club podcast, Jack Shepard and Tanner Greenring. Hello.
Hello, this is Tanner Greenring. I just want you to be able to put a voice to the name.
Hello.
And you're Jack, and that's Jack. Can you give him a bigger sample? Jack, can you give him a bigger sample?
Oh yeah, let them hear your voice, in case they didn't listen to last week's episode for some reason.
Hello, this is Jack Shepard. I just wanted to put a voice to the name.
Yes, great.
You look so peer pressured right now, Jack.
I feel peer pressure.
Well, so on Babysitters Club, you guys obviously talk about the Babysitters Club books. I read those books ravenously, actually, when I was like a preteen girl or elementary school. I don't know how old I was, but I read a lot of them. And so I really appreciate that your logo for the show is a picture of like an illustration, kind of like in the style of those books of them all laying in the grass. And you guys are both there. Yeah. And there's illustrations of you. And when I first started listening to the show, last year sometime, and I binged through it. For the first maybe like 10 or 15 episodes I listened to, I had you guys reversed. Like I thought the dark-haired glasses guy was Jack and the blonde-haired guy was Tanner. I don't know why, though.
I have never thought that Jack and I have had similar voices until I listened to our show, and like we do sound remarkably alike.
Well,
we have heard that before.
The way you can tell the difference is I have a man's voice.
You have a man's voice, and I kind of have a boy's voice.
Yeah.
Right.
I definitely can tell the difference between your voices. I just had mixed up which voice went with which, like, physical appearance.
Well, I think that's probably what it is. I have a man's voice, and Tanner looks like a man.
I am shaped like a man.
Okay.
And Jack is shaped like a smaller man.
Well, I don't know if you guys are fishing, but I think you both look and sound very manly.
Thank you. And we were fishing, and we've been talking for already 5 minutes, and I can't believe it's taken you this long to say it, but better late than never, and thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And if I may, you sound and look like a woman.
Thank you. I was really hoping that one of you would say it, so I'm glad that one of you did. Thanks. I worry about these things.
Well, we both went to finishing school, so we know how to do this stuff.
What were we going to talk about on Extra Drama? Oh, so I'm hoping that the listeners of this podcast have some familiarity with the Babysitters Club, as I do, and I think it's pretty likely because there was a lot of crossover. But this book, as I'm sure you guys now really understand, having now both of you read these two novels as adults, these two Sweet Valley novels, it is a lot different than the world of the Babysitters Club. But you guys have been reading these mysteries on your show, so that the hostage is a little bit of a mystery. It's got that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, definitely.
Very similar.
I'm just
wondering... Except a little bit more crimey.
Yeah.
Which is more crimey? This is?
The hostage is more
Sweet
crimey. We're realizing that Stoneybrook, we've read about 15 mysteries now. We're realizing that Stoneybrook is a den of crime and infamy. Mm-hmm. But nothing. I mean, they've got phantom phone callers. They've got dog
There's never been a gun.
But there's never been a gun. Unless the phantom phone caller had one but just never pulled it out. We don't know much about the phantom phone caller.
Keeps it to like sick perversion. Like, I could do anything with this gun.
I
think that is likely. We had dog thieves. That's one of the worst crimes you can do.
Oh,
thieve a dog.
And in a non-mystery, Kristy Thomas did burn a man.
She did try to kill a man with burning him. And Stacey and her friends did wine crimes at a You For Me show once.
Yeah, but that was before the mysteries, right?
Yeah, that was an open shut case. There was no mystery.
Yeah, there was no mystery. Yeah, it was a clear cut wine crime. Wine crime is when you smuggle wine into a You For Me concert, probably across state lines.
Yeah, and you're only 15.
And yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to say surely 13. A lot of our listeners right now have committed wine crimes, but probably not when they were 15. Oh, maybe. I don't know. We got a lot of Jessicas who listen to the show, so who knows? Hi, Jessicas.
Welcome, Jessicas. I'm a Jessica.
Welcome,
Good to talk to you.
You're not a Jessica,
I'm a Bruce
Jack. So what do you think, how do you think this book would have been different if we'd had your girls in here instead of these crazy Sweet Valley kids?
Okay, this is a very interesting question.
This is a
Thank
very
you.
Interesting question.
Tanner,
There wouldn't have been a mystery.
no. Okay, let's
Because
play
that's the
this
thing
out.
about Babysitters Club mysteries is there's often not a mystery.
Okay.
They're called mysteries, but there's no mystery. It's just kind of a story.
And this
Sometimes
book
there's a
did have a mystery. Like, we had to figure out what money is heaven meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just what was going on.
Tanner, let's talk about it. Let's try to narrow this down. Who would you want? So if it was a Babysitters Club book, you would have had an A plot and a B plot. And so we can take some of our girls and put them on the bench. Because some of our girls, it turns out this week, there's a fucking parade in Stony-Brook.
You're kidding.
And they have to plan for that, and they have to put together the float.
It's a day that ends in Y, so there's a parade, and four of the girls are going to be really busy making a float for the parade. Right. So we can choose who we want to be our A team to solve this mystery, bearing in mind that it has guns and hostages, and you can't call the cops. I think that's the rule.
Well, I think the babysitters who are most resistant to cop calling are often Kristy, because I don't know why.
That time she burned a man.
Oh, she just still doesn't want to get caught for that. Plus, she is. I was trying to think of which babysitter I think could handle themselves best in a physical fight against Mr. What's his face?
Denson,
the bad guy, Denson, and I think that would be Kristy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we definitely want Kristy on the case. We want Kristy on the case. So you pick Kristy. Well, here, let's pick. You got Kristy. We get 4 babysitters.
Okay. Kristy's also my favorite.
I know who's going to be last pick.
I need Shannon Kilbourne on this one.
Oh, dark horse. Okay.
Yeah.
Time to Kilbourne.
Yeah, A Time to Kilbourne. Shannon Kilbourne, we think, is probably secretly working for the U.S. government. So
yes.
Okay. Can I pick one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go Stacey. I feel like she might be able to do some sort of Jessica style, like honeypot scheming.
Right.
Well, and she could tell the criminals that she's from New York and has diabetes endlessly until they get so tired of it that they just put down their guns and leave.
Yeah, either one of those facts could be a distraction for most criminals. Yeah.
It is for us.
Yeah.
We love hearing about it.
And then we have one more, which I guess we can just kind of decide together.
It has to be Marianne, because Marianne tends to save the day.
Oh, I was just thinking that she would be a mess because of the crying.
No, she's just terrible at it. She'd be a mess, but...
She always saves the day.
Here's the thing about Marianne. Let me make my case for Marianne. I'm not the biggest fan of her in a lot of circumstances because she tends to be a wreck. But when push comes to shove, like when a baby starts like choking or whatever... It tends to be, or like the whole BSC is having a fight. It tends to be Marianne who saves the day.
It's like she gets the adrenaline rush and she just has
something
crystal
about
clarity.
It's only in an extreme crisis that Marianne can come through.
Okay.
I was gonna say Janine because we have the Elizabeth character in Stacey, but we need the brains too. You know. If anyone's going to like actually crack this case and solve this crime, it's going to be Janine.
Okay.
Janine Kishi with an IQ of what, like 200?
It's high. We looked it up. It's higher than Stephen Hawking. It's higher than I think it's higher than anybody who is known for. It's better than Einstein.
You know what Janine would be so good at is what Elizabeth is trying to pull sort of when she's like making up a story at the lab, you know, the computer plant. She could totally like talk the talk. So she could pretend that she's like an intern or like she works there. She would be really, she knows the lingo of computer chips.
Oh, I was sorry to stop you. I'm just wondering how many gigabytes you have in that hard drive that you're carrying. I would love to talk more about that.
That's great. All right, so what a crack team. We've got Janine Kishi, Shannon Kilbourne, Kristy Thomas, and Stacey.
It sounds like the least popular Babysitters Club book ever.
Everybody else is working on a... I think this book is called JESSI and the Stony-Brook Parade. And then there's just like a short B plot
where somebody
there's a hostage,
Jamie gets kidnapped.
Mr. and Mrs. Papadakis get kidnapped and there is a deaf character though, right? Matt Braddock.
Yeah, Matt Braddock.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be the Braddock parents.
And much to Anne Martin and the team's credit, they let him stay deaf.
Yeah, no, that Francine was like, I'll have a deaf character, but only if we cure it.
Yeah.
Only if I cure it.
Yeah. Good.
Well, this has been fun. I said that I sounded sarcastic, but I really mean it.
Okay, we can leave.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
I thought you were being sarcastic about the manly voices as well. Wow.
No.
Oh, you guys have such manly voices.
Good.
I had no comment. Well, I have enjoyed listening to your voices for many, many episodes, and I'm sure listeners to Sweet Valley Diaries will enjoy listening to your voices as well, if they don't already. Really, they probably already listen to your show. It's much more popular than mine.
Please listen to our voices.
It's all we have.
It's all we have.
Yeah, it's all they have, you guys. Listen to their voices.
I mean, we are married and do have kids, but our wives and sons don't listen to our voices.
Yeah.
So we need you, gladiators.
Yeah.
To come jump on board and become riddle babies. Is what we call our listeners now.
Oh, I like that. But you guys are only allowed to listen to their show if you keep listening to Sweet Valley Diaries and tell your friends to listen as well. That's my caveat as mistress of this program.
That seems fair.
Thank you.
I want to start calling myself a master of my program.
I think that's okay. I mean, I don't know. Jack might take issue with that.
We'll talk about it later.
You guys can be co-masters. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tune in next week to find out about Suzanne and Ken. Listeners, you guys tune in too. Goodbye.
Thanks for having us. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You say goodbye.
So does that make me Miss
Good.
America?
Sometimes people write in and say, have you ever thought of going swear free? We've had a few people who've like very politely like, hey, love the show. Have you guys ever thought of like not fucking swearing so much? And we have, and we decided to not worry about it.
Yeah. Would you ask a bird not to fly?
That's beautiful, Tanner.